Hey, me again, back in the booth. I'm still working through this book called WARBOTS. That's a 1988 kind of military, future sci-fi military book. And the last reading that I did was kind of an awkward one, not really any action. Now we're finally into some kind of WARBOT action. So the scene here is normally they are controlling these WARBOTs, kind of how in Avatar the humans controlled the alien bodies. But in this case, they actually had to do kind of a manned mission, and you only use kind of automatic warbots as kind of cover, but they actually have to go in kind of their first ever, like most of these guys, I think all of them except for one, have never seen actual combat. They've only seen combat through these warbots. So now they're all like, they realize that, if they don't get through this, if they died in like a warbot, they would just come back. But there's ramifications there, I guess, too, if you died while you're controlling the warbot. But anyway, this is like shit's real here. So anyway, they're trying to get in and rescue some hostages. So I'm gonna try to read this, and of course if I make any flubs or edits or whatever, I'll do it. But we'll see how I do here. But I think this is kind of, once we get into action, it's kind of allegedly smoother going for me when I do this. So we'll see. I'm back to wearing headphones. I don't know. Sometimes I try without headphones. I try with headphones. I'm always trying to see the best way to do this. Everyone has different opinions. All right, so the one word I've been having trouble with is balustrade. Balustrade. So we should get it here. Need to see if it comes up anymore. Balustrade. I'd never said that word ever until I read this book. Okay. Crouched behind the balustrade, Kurt brought his CG-17 into firing position. He waited to... Did I say balustrade right? I'm like already second guessing myself. Balustrade. Balustrade. Crouched behind the balustrade. Here we go. Oh, my voice cracked on that previous thing, so I better go over it, or else someone will leave a review. They'll notice my one voice crack, and they'll leave a review on Amazon. Here we go. Behind the balustrade, Kurt brought his CG-17 into firing position. He waited until he saw the telltale flash of an AKMS at a window. Then he squeezed off a 3-round burst. It ripped out of the carbine at 6,000 rounds per second. 6,000. It ripped out of the carbine at 6,000 rounds per second, so fast that the burst sounded like one report. His aim was good. He'd sighted in that CG-17 properly. No more rifle fire would come from there. And that, Samson, Kurt remarked to the sergeant carrying the Beretta. And that, Samson. Samson, Kurt remarked to the sergeant carrying the Beretta, is why I don't like... To the sergeant carrying the Beretta, is why I don't like toy pistols. Move out, everyone, before another sniper takes over there. Blech. Toy pistols. Move out, everyone, before another sniper takes over there. The 6 of them and the assault bots got through the door onto the second floor, not a moment too soon. A hail of steel-tipped arrows rattled against the outer wall and came through the opening to the A hail of steel-tipped arrows rattled against the outer wall and came through the opening to scatter across the floor. The assault bots were moving rapidly down the long hallway towards the staircase at the center of the building, checking into each room as they passed it. The offices were empty. As the bots went down the main staircase to the ground floor, there was scattered firing from below. They immediately returned it. Then came silence. When Kurt and the troops got to the head of the stairs, 2 bots were guarding the front entrance. 2 were at the head of the stairway to the basement, and 2 more were heading down that stairway. I just got to catch my breath. Heading down that stairway. Kurt recognized the location. He'd been there before, in linkage with the recon ratbot. Screams and shouts suddenly came from the stairway to the basement. Kurt stuck his head over the railing and managed a quick look. The heavy door at the bottom of the stairs was open, and panicked hostages, some of them in pretty bad shape, were being pushed up the stairway by those behind them. "Don't shoot!" Kurt yelled at his warbots. I think his voice is too high there. His voice is too high there, too. "Don't shoot!" Kurt yelled at his warbots. "Come back up the stairs! Make way for these people! Those people! Make way for those people!" It was an old trick. The Mongol hordes had used it centuries ago. There had been no rules of war then, and the ruthless Mongols had driven captured war then, and the ruthless Mongols had driven a war then, and the ruthless Mongols had driven captured I'm getting tongue-tied on this for some reason. And the ruthless Mongols had driven captured hostages ahead of them when assaulting a town or moving against an army in a strong... It's one of those kind of run-on type sentences I gotta kind of get flowing right. There had been no rules of war then, and the ruthless Mongols had driven captured hostages ahead of them when assaulting a town or moving against an enemy. I don't know where to breathe. And the ruthless Mongols had driven captured hostages ahead of them when assaulting a town or moving against an army in a strongly defended position. Of war then. And the ruthless Mongols had driven captured hostages ahead of them when assaulting a town or moving against an army in a strongly defended position. The reluctance of the opposing soldiers to shoot at their own people allowed the Mongols to operate behind a screen and to outmove. Here we go. Position. Defended position. The reluctance of the opposing soldiers to shoot at their own people allowed the Mongols to operate behind a screen and to outmaneuver the enemy. Occasionally, the Mongol light cavalry would Occasionally, the Mongol light cavalry would charge right through the hostages, trampling them while secure in the knowledge that they probably wouldn't be fired upon by the archers and pilum throwers of the enemy. Pilum? Really? Let's hope I said it right. Pilum. Where is it at? Pilum throwers. I probably pronounced it wrong. Let's go to good old Webster's dictionary. Merriam-Webster. Pilum. It is plural of pilla. Pilum. Let's look at pilla. Well, I don't have a Pilum. I don't have a the dictionary doesn't have the pronunciation, and I need to learn how to do how to read the phonetics better. I'm more of a mimicker. Let's see here. Pilum. Let's see. Sometimes YouTube works. Sometimes they give the wrong pronunciation. Pilum. See, this is saying bilum. What? This is riveting, isn't it? Riveting. Pilum. Pilum. By the archers and pilum throwers of the enemy. Pilum, not pilum. Here we go. Knowledge that they probably wouldn't fire upon. Knowledge that they probably wouldn't be fired upon by the archers and pilum throwers of the enemy. Say it right? Pilum. Pilum, pilum. All right, pilum throwers of the enemy. Okay. Throwers of the enemy. But Kurt knew that trick, and he knew how to counter it. Come on! Come on! He yelled at the screaming, shoving hostages. We're American robot infantry. Come on, move! Did I clip? I'm told you're not supposed to, like, yell, but I'm like, I gotta find that happy medium. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Alright, didn't clip on those other ones. The countering tactic involved getting as many hostages as possible out of that basement, and under the... Where am I at? Out of that basement, and under the protection of the company. God damn it. Out of that basement, and under the protection of the companions. By absorbing the hostage mob into them. Companions. By absorbing the hostage mob into them, the companions could hostage mob into them. By absorbing the hostage mob into them, the companions could rescue them and expose their Jehoiakim captors to fire. Coming up the stairs were males and females of all ages. They were shocked, hurt, and dazed, but they recognized the sand and spinach camouflage uniforms and the distinctive RI battle helmets. Perhaps 30 of the hostages made it before Henry Kester suddenly opened fire. I'm talking too fast. Perhaps 30 of the hostages made it. Perhaps 30 of the hostages made it before Henry Kester suddenly opened fire with that hand cannon of his. "30 of the hostages made it before goddamn Henry Kester started opening fire. Made it. 30 of the hostages made it before Henry Kester suddenly opened fire with that hand cannon of his. The 45 caliber slugs he aimed at the open basement doors. The 45 caliber slugs he aimed at the open basement door behind them found at least 2 targets wearing white turbans. Alexis Morgan grimaced as one of those slugs tore a man's head off. Oh, it's getting violent. white turbans. Alexis Morgan grimaced as one of those slugs tore a man's head off and drove his decapitated body backward. The second Jehoiakim suddenly had a gushing red hole where his chest had been. I can say that better. Where his chest had been. Backward. It's getting so violent. Body backward. The second Jehoiakim suddenly had a gushing red hole where his chest had been. All of Carson's companions were quickly initiated. Let me go. All of Carson's companions were quickly initiated into the bloody world of personal combat, which was unlike robot warfare where machines simply destroyed other machines. Combat. Of personal combat, which was unlike robot warfare. Unlike combat, which was unlike robot warfare, where machines simply destroyed other machines. Below, the heavy door slammed, shutting off the flow of panicky hostages. But about 30 had streamed up the stairway. But about 30 had streamed up the stairway, some carrying others. Told to move up the screen. Move. Carrying others. Kurt reached out and grasped one of the hostages, a man of about his own age. He was dirty, dry-lipped, and haggard, but he didn't look as dazed as some of the others. I'm Captain Kurt Carson, U.S. Army Robot Infantry. How many more hostages? I guess say more a little more. I'm Captain Kurt Carson. I'm Captain Kurt Carson, U.S. I'm Captain Kurt Carson, U.S. Army Robot Infantry. How many more hostages and Jehoiakims are in the basement? I heard my in that I heard my lip go. I'm Captain Kurt Carson, U.S. Mr. Arthur, phrase. Kurt Carson, U.S. Army Robot Infantry. How many more hostages and Infantry. How many more hostages and Jehoiakims are in the basement? The man was obviously nearly out of control. Thank God! Oh, thank God you've come! It clipped. I clipped! Dang it. I'm getting into it. Here we go. Thank God! Oh, thank God you've come. There must be another 100 down there. About a dozen of those sadistic devils. Listen, will you kill those bastards for me? Will you? I've had to watch them torture and kill my wife. I don't know. This is where, like, self-directing gets, like... I'm like, well, I think it sounded okay. Here we go. I'll take care of it. Now save yourself. Go up the stairs to the roof. Kurt clapped the man gently on the shoulder and gave him a gentle push. I gotta soften it. Kurt clapped the man gently on the shoulder. He's being, you know, for being a soldier, he's still gotta let the guy know he's taking her. Kurt clapped the man gently on the shoulder. Kurt clapped the man gently on the shoulder. Why can't I talk? Kurt clapped the man gently on the shoulder and gave him a gentle push in the proper direction. He then turned to Alexis. We've got some of them, at least. 30 people they won't torture. Bring the transport bots down. You're in charge of hostage. You're in charge of hostage evac. Get these people up to the roof. Have the transport bots take them up there if necessary. Hostage. I still said hostage. Am I Sean Connery saying hostages? If I was Sean Connery, I would do this perfectly. Just talk like this the whole time. Where am I at? I kind of burned up, kind of mush. We've got some of them at least. I need to bring it. Here we go. And then I'm done. Videotaping, that is. To Alexis. We've got some of them at least. My mouth's been clicking too much lately. We've got some of them at least. 30 people they won't torture. Bring the transport bots down. You're in charge of hostage evac. Get these people up to the roof. Have the transport bots take them up there if then... Almost killed it. Almost went all the way through. I'm no Joe Hempel. Have the transport bots take them up there. Up to the roof. Have the transport bots take them up there if necessary. Alright. I'm sweating. I gotta get out of here. I gotta take a break. Micro break. Thanks for watching. This kind of helps me, I don't know, bring up the intensity a little bit, I guess, if I know people are going to watch this. But, you see, I see these YouTube videos and, like, the narrator is just, like, page after page just reading with barely any mistakes. I'm not there yet. Someday. But, you know, these are fun to do. Kind of show you guys what I'm doing. Thanks for watching this for 20 minutes if you got through it for 20 minutes. I appreciate, anyone that gives a shit. So, thanks for hanging out in the booth with me. I will talk to all of you next time. Next time I do this. I may do one more of WARBOTS the next few days. I'm trying to finish this frickin' book up. I'm behind schedule on it. And then I'm going to be starting The Brain Eaters. And I'm also going to be doing a kind of a novella called Bite of the Fallen. Kind of like a, I don't know, vampire romance from the vampire, or he's a werewolf, from that, the love interest guy's perspective, but the series is following a gal, but there's this one-off where it's the love interest fella, and I'm doing that one, so that should be fun. So I got a couple of books I want to do. So in between the Brain Eaters, I'm going to be doing Bite of the Fallen, because it's shorter, and I can kind of get that one out too. So, I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah. I'm done rambling. Peace out, y'all. Have a great evening. Or day. Whenever you're watching this. I don't know. Whatever. Go to screamingpodsvo.com if you want to see more. I got some of my audiobook demos up there. I'm going to be revamping that whole page, and everything, because I got to figure out what I'm doing with Screaming Pods podcast network, because, that's probably pretty much being dissolved, just because of time. Like, this is taking up all my time. So I'm going to be kind of figuring something out with all that. But go there. Follow me on Twitter. Sean C. DeRegger on Twitter. Or Screaming Pods VO on Twitter. The video of me is over here, so I keep looking over here. Here, we'll do this. I should be doing this. So now I'm looking at myself, and it's like I'm looking at the camera. All right, I'm done. Talk to you later.